Welcome inside fitnessinformant.com, Fitness Informant's YouTube channel, and our social media channels. I'm FI founder and CEO Ryan Buckeye here to talk about a new stim-based fat burner from the powerhouse brand known as Cellucor. So Cellucor, known for a very popular pre-workout called C4, and now they have their C4 energy drinks across the country, are going back to their roots, going back to science and innovation, and they're redoing a lot of their pills and their capsules and their putters. And this fat burner series is definitely one of them. They have a new non-stim fat burner, and this is going to be their stim-based fat burner called Super Shred, which is available at some large retailers as well as the brand's website. Today, we're going to dive into the SFP, the supplement fats panel on this new stim-based fat burner, and let you guys know kind of what we think in terms of the overall formulation and whether or not this is something that might work for you and your goals. Now, there's two different categories of fat burners. There's non-stim and there's stim-based. Typically, non-stims are more stackable than stim-based fat burners. However, personally, I like stim-based fat burners slightly more because the inclusion of stimulants does help stimulate the CNS system and can help increase metabolism, help the breakdown of fats, etc. But that does not mean that a stim-based fat burner is the end-all be-all. There's definitely a time and a place for both of these. So let's dive into the SFP here on Super Shred from Cellucor, brand new fat burner. The first ingredient here I'm going to talk about, which is above the active line, is called Chromax. This is a form of chromium. It's a patent form from our friends at Nutrition 21. It's a highly bioavailable form of chromium. Chromium can help regulate glucose and insulin sensitivity. Obviously, you may have heard before, a lot of people like to say carbs are the devil or they're bad for you, and that's not true. Like, carbohydrates are converted and broken down into sugars in the body, which becomes blood glucose, which your body then burns off as fuel. However, if you're not active or you don't burn those off, it does, and it can get stored as fat. So including something like chromium, especially a bioavailable form, a highly bioavailable form of chromium like Chromax from Nutrition 21, is going to help the body utilize that blood glucose better, regulate insulin levels and insulin sensitivity, and just overall be better off in terms of that aspect of your diet. The first ingredient here, as we get into the actives, is a patent ingredient here. It's called Cardio Sweet Orange. It's standardized to hesperidin at 500 milligrams. Now, this ingredient isn't necessarily directly leading to fat loss, but it can increase VO2 max and peak performance. Obviously, the more output that you can have during any type of athletic activity, whether it's walking, running, weightlifting in the gym, etc., your body is just going to burn more calories. You burn more calories, it leads to more fat loss. Therefore, that's why it's included in this stim-based fat burner. Now, I've not seen this ingredient used very often, so it's really cool to see a gigantic brand like Cellucor bring innovation and science into a product, especially in the forms of individualized ingredients. So it's really cool to see this one here. The next ingredient here is called Avantra Z Bitter Orange Extract at 250 milligrams. This is standardized to 10% synephrine. Synephrine, very common amongst fat burners in the market today. Synephrine can increase body temperature and thermogenesis. It can help reduce appetite and increase overall metabolism in the body. A big fan of synephrine when used correctly. I like it in collaboration with something like a Caffeine Hydro, which we'll talk about here shortly, but the Avantra Z is a patent form of synephrine. It's a very good form of that, so nice to see that here at 250 milligrams. Caffeine Hydro is used at 200 milligrams. So Caffeine Hydro is the most common form of caffeine that you're going to find in the sports nutrition world, whether it's pre-workout, whether it's fat burners, whether it's a nootropic that uses a caffeine in it. Caffeine A or Caffeine Hydros is going to be a fast-acting form of caffeine. So after ingestion and consumption, 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to start getting a spike in what you think is energy levels. And really, caffeine hydros can do that over the duration of minutes, half hours, even potentially up to an hour, and depending on the doses that you take. Some people may have a crash from caffeine hydros, so you'll see caffeine used in collaboration with some other stimulants or non-stimulants sometimes, which is fine. But in this case, because it's 200 milligrams, which is a very common dosage of caffeine A in a fat burner, it's either between 2 and 300 milligrams of caffeine is typically what we see. In capsule-based ones, it's typically 200 milligrams. I'm pretty confident to say that you can take this and you'll be fine post-fact. The next ingredient here is Cholis for Scoli, which is standardized to 19% for Scolin at 100 milligrams. This ingredient here can actually help increase the breakdown of fats. So that is, you'll see this ingredient used in a lot of different fat burners, both, especially in the stim-based fat burner market. But if you have something that can help break down the fats in the body and help metabolize those, obviously it's a win-win. So a good dosage there as well. The next ingredient here is guarana seed extract at 100 milligrams. This is gonna yield 22 milligrams of caffeine. This is gonna help stimulate the body, gonna help increase metabolism, energy expenditure. Now, there are some certain studies out there that say like this can be up to 4 to 6 times as stronger than caffeine. Now, I'm not gonna go on a limb and say that to you. I'm just letting you know what some of the people are saying about this particular ingredient. I have not used it regularly to be able to make valid claims if I think it's stronger than caffeine or not, but just understand that it's gonna yield 22 milligrams of caffeine, which is gonna be in addition to the 200 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous that you're getting earlier. Next ingredient here is called oligonol lychee fruit extract and green tea leaf extract at 50 milligrams. So this is typically found obviously in the lychee fruit and green tea, which can help with fat metabolization, can help increase metabolism in the body. Obviously, you see a lot of times in fat burners, brands will do like a green tea leaf extract. So this is a patent form of this that it's from Amino Up Chemical Company. So it's an ingredient company that I'm not super familiar with, but at the end of the day, this ingredient is going to help with fat oxidation and increase in metabolism, and it's used at the dosage in which it's recommended at 50 milligrams. Yohimbine bark extract used at 30 milligrams. This is standardized to 10% yohimbine. So you're getting 3 milligrams of yohimbine. This is a great dosage of yohimbine. Something like this I would take for fasted cardio even, but 3 milligrams of yohimbine with fasted cardio has kind of been my go-to personally, that I've known some championship coaches like to prescribe, I guess if you want to use that term, or let their clients know that they should take with fasted cardio. So 3 milligrams of yohimbine. It's strong enough that you're going to feel something. It's not overly powerful to the point where it's going to cause potentially rapid heartbeat in some scary situations for people, because yohimbine and different variations of it, whether it's alpha yohimbine or standardized yohimbine, can cause different reactions for certain people, but I'm pretty comfortable at the 3 milligram dosage that most people should tolerate it really well. The last ingredient here is cayenne fruit extract at 20 milligram. This is capsaicin. This is an ingredient that you can actually feel in your body. When your body starts to break down the capsule in your stomach, you might start to feel your stomach heat up, increasing body temperature, thermogenesis, which can help increase fat loss through a standard duration of time. Obviously, supplementing with something like that day after day definitely helps. Now, it's interesting about capsaicin. There's different versions of it out there that they say if you use it, there's a chance that your body can burn up to the equivalent calories that you'd burn running a half mile. And I've said this before in videos that we've done. When the first time I read that study, I was like, well, there's no way. Now, again, you want to be able to, you can't just take this and sit on your couch and expect to lose the calories equivalent to a half mile. There's things that go in with it, right? Like you want to eat correctly, you want to be physically active, but it does help increase thermogenesis. It can help lead to fat loss. So overall, from top to bottom, you have ingredients that look at your insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolization. You have things about fat oxidation and increasing metabolism. So they really do a good job of utilizing stimulants and non-stim ingredients here to kind of give you a really good overall picture. Now, what's really cool is they do have a non-stim fat burner that you could potentially stack with this, because the non-stim version for Cellucor focuses more on appetite control. So you could have these stim-based things that's going to increase metabolism and increase thermogenesis. You could couple that with a non-stim fat burner as well, which is going to help more with the appetite control. But overall, either one by themselves is fine. So Super Shred, one of the best fat burners that Cellucor has done in their time. I like the uses of ingredients, especially I like the use of cardios and some of these ingredients that you don't see out there from a brand as big as Cellucor, because at the end of the day, we typically see these type of innovations from smaller upstart brands, but it's really cool to see an established legacy brand bring it back into the root of what they do and the focus of what they're going to be doing moving forward. If you want more information on this product, look below in the caption for a link to take you to fitnessinformant.com for more of a scientific breakdown of each line item ingredient in the supplement facts panel. If you want to purchase this, look below for a link that'll take you to one of the major retailers out there that sell this particular product, as well as maybe Cellucor's website where you can buy it there and look for a coupon code to save you a few dollars. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe now button here below, and make sure you're following us on our social media channels. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. And for more product breakdowns, exercise routines, and nutrition plans, visit us on our official website. We're online at fitnessinformant.com.